Hello Sagittarius, welcome to Truth Well Told Tarot. This is your monthly tarot reading for November 2019 for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. I hope you're well, Sagittarius. So as usual, we have the four general energies of the month: Justice, the Empress, the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Wands. The Ace of Cups is your overarching energy of the month, beautiful energy. Top three cards on the right hand side represent love, romance and relationships, with the Three of Swords, the King of Swords and strength. Bottom three cards represent money and career. We have the Eight of Swords again, with that's appearing twice, the Knight of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. I've also got an angel card and a reading card as well, Sagittarius. So let's start with this. The Ace of Cups. This is an uplifting energy. This is a powerful new beginning. It's not just a physical new beginning, it can be an emotional new beginning as well. This is when you're receiving love from the heart. It can be to do with love, it can be self-love, it can be emotional renewal, emotional rebirth. It can also be linked with new love being offered to you in some way, or the opportunity to connect to new love in your external world. That's guided. This is the hand of God, the divine, the universe, giving you this opportunity. It is a card of happiness, joy, satisfaction, contentment. Your cup overflows, you know, it is so beautiful. There's great emotional awareness with this as well. Being open to receive something that you really want from within. So powerful, powerful message. Now, what I will say is you've got Justice and you've also got the Emperor. It could be that you're receiving new love from a Libran. Both of these cards are linked to Libran energy. Could also be to do with whatever the situation is that's going on, can be associated with the Libran energy as well. That's something very specific, but I kind of like to say what I feel in these cards. Obviously these cards have a number of interpretations. Some of you have been through a challenging time. The Seven of Wands is a card of challenge, of where you've really needed to dig deep with your own resource, your own strength, your own power, your own conviction, your own belief, to overcome a situation, overcome a challenge. It could be linked to do with that. It could be to do with justice. Now, the Justice card can connect to legal institutions, government situations as well, can be to do with contracts. So that's anything from marriage, divorce, can be to do with custody of children, can be to do with work contracts, disputes, a range of things that can be legal. You know, it can represent legal things. You've been through a challenging situation, Sagittarius. Now, if it's not to do with legal institutions, this can be to do with karmic justice, a challenge that you've had to face, but there's a message here that the truth is on your side in some way. Truth will out. Justice, the whole function of justice is to restore balance in your life, to allow you to move forward. So I feel that there is something, maybe decision that you're waiting on, or some kind of communication or some kind of information that you're waiting on, Sagittarius, that will restore justice, that will be on your side. Something that's fair, something that's just, a fair and just outcome. And generally when it appears in your reading, it is on your side. So I feel for some of you that if you're waiting for something that will restore balance, you're getting it, you're getting that decision, you're getting that communication, you're getting that message of some kind. This can also be about working hard to bring balance into your life. So if it's not to do with anything to do with justice or wrongs being righted or unfairness or being unfairly treated in any way, because this is somebody who's overcoming challenge in their external environment. They're being challenged and they are a force to be reckoned with. They are standing firm. If it's not to do with that, Sagittarius, then it is very much about you're working hard, you're pushing against all the odds to bring back balance, to restore balance in your life. So, powerful message, and I think you're going to come through it. It's a positive sign that the Empress and the Libran energy of justice is side by side, because it is saying that the new that you're searching for, that release, the beginnings of something new is close at hand. And the Empress is something new. Obviously we've got the Ace of Cups here, which is something new as well. You're just moving on, you're putting something behind you. You're just wanting the new in your life. But here's the thing, the Eight of Swords, I mean, it has a number of meanings. It can be that there's some kind of like block. The Swords energy is very much linked with the mind. So there can be something blocked mentally, some mental negativity, mental blocks, that is stopping you from seeing truths, that is stopping you from maybe accepting judgments, accepting communication. This is somebody who is just maybe through a challenging time, and the negativity just has hold of them to the point where they're not moving forward. This can be, I do say with the Eight of Swords, your mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy. And this is where it's your worst enemy. Your mind plays tricks on you. It is a card of an illusion in the sense that when you get perspective of a situation, you allow yourself to move forward. So I feel for some of you that there's the promise of something new. Something's blocking that right now, and it is getting clarity on that to move forward. Now, in the specific cards of love and also money, you have the King of Swords and also the Knight of Swords. So whatever's blocking you, you're getting clarity on, because the Knight of Swords overlaps this Eight of Swords in your money and career as well. You're seeing the bigger picture. You're going to get perspective on this situation and allow the truth to set you free in some way. And that's promising new growth, new opportunities, new flow in your life. The Empress is just allowing flow, allowing just progress, beautiful things to come into your life. She is a Venus energy. She is the representation of something wonderful, very much linked with love or finances, which can be linked to your career. So, powerful message. The Empress is asking you, as she has a wonderful, she creates a paradise on earth, she sits amidst her paradise on earth, and she says to you, you can be the co-creator of your life, obviously with that divine energy. It is about taking action. It is knowing your power to manifest. She is a 3. She represents the beginnings of manifestation, the birth of manifestation, the birth of creation, something new. Can be linked with new careers, can be linked with new ways to make money, new investments, financial astuteness, financial reviews, all that kind of thing. Can also be to do with new jobs, new careers, new business ventures, can be to do with new love, new relationships, new connections as well. Whatever this is the beginnings of something that can really grow, really flourish, but you have to make it happen. You have to tend to it. She sits in a kind of like wonderful natural garden, and she tends to the garden, and it's about you tending to your garden, whether it's money, whether it's career, whether it's love. Don't be closed off to moving on. I think some of you are struggling to move on. I think it's a challenge to move on, but it's coming because this is really moving on, and you're moving on heart, mind, soul. I'm feeling that very strongly. This is spirit. We have the heart here, very much linked to our emotions, the cups, and we've got a lot of swords energy here, so some of you are moving on. So in love and relationships, Sagittarius, we've got the King of Swords, we've got the 3 of Swords, and we have the Strength card. Okay, let's start with these two first. 3 of Swords, we know, for those of you who see these readings a lot, the 3 of Swords is a card of deep hurts, deep wounds. It can be the heartbreak card. It can be where we're deeply hurt in a situation. It doesn't necessarily have to be love, because it's a general reading. It can be in the workplace. It can be feeling betrayed in the workplace. It can be with wider friends, wider family, our connections, people that we thought we had an emotional connection to deeply hurt us. And, the clouds here are very much what's going on in your inner world. There's negativity here, and that could really explain the Seven of Wands and the Eight of Swords here, the negativity that you've had to deal with, the challenge, the hurt. Because it's love and relationships, there could have been a third-party situation as well, Sagittarius. And the three, let me just say, the three in tarot, like the Empress, she is the major arcana of three, is about moving on. It's about beginning to manifest something new. So there is something about deep hurts, deep truths that you're seeing of a situation that are now asking you to release, to move on, to manifest the new. This hurt, however deep, however hurtful, should push you forward, should fuel you forward. The Strength card, I feel, is very much the mechanism to move you on. The Strength is number 8, and number 8 is very much changing tarot. So there is manifestation, there is change here, there is moving on here for some of you, because you're recognizing your own strength, your own resourcefulness, your own connectedness to your own power, your inner power, to deal with a situation, face your fears where you need to face your fears and conquer them. This maiden conquers the lion, which can represent our own fears, our own thoughts, how our own thoughts can keep us stuck. She is conquering that. So there is some internal domination, internal assertion of strength and power from within that is moving you on from whatever this was. And the King of Swords is somebody who has power over the mind. Now, generally he is depicted as somebody on high because he sees the big picture. Sometimes he has an eagle in certain tarot cards. And there's a reason for that, because it is about getting that high perspective. It is about seeing the bigger picture now, allowing yourself to see truths and allowing yourself to look forward, move on. Some of you are moving on from this situation and not looking back. There is something about the truth setting you free. Yeah, and you're taking decisive action. This is somebody who understands the decisions they need to make, communicating their position clearly now, judging things without emotions clouding their judgment, and getting very clear assessment of the truth of the situation. And it is empowering you, it is allowed to communicate clearly, it is allowing you to make decisions clearly and moving on. The King of Swords is the height of his suit. He is the sign of real success, the sign of real achievement by decisive action, by clear thinking, by seeing the facts of the situation, by getting to the very core of the truth of the situation in order to see the bigger picture and understand his next actions, where he's going, refocusing on his path. So I think this is where some of you are refocusing on you. It's doing the inner work first, very much that inner strength from within. But some of you have the opportunity, I feel, to move on from whatever the situation was. It must have hurt you deeply, Sagittarius, because it's affecting your career, or it could have affected just for a moment or for a period of time. It's overlapped onto all aspects of your life. So it really has played with your mind. It has played with your mind. Again, we've got the Eight of Swords here. Sometimes this can be when you're doing too many things at once as well. I'm not quite feeling that, to be fair. I feel this is more that mental negativity energy keeping you stuck. But you see, you've got the Knight of Swords here. You're moving on. You're refocusing on your path. You're moving on from things that kept you stuck. This is somebody who is finding their own ambition. They're finding clarity. They're taking decisive action. They're finding direction again. The Knights are about change, and also for me as a reader, they're about finding direction. Understanding where you're heading towards. This is very much eyes on the prize. Release. Moving on. Refocusing on your path and moving forward. I think some of you are leaving something behind you, because the Knight is heading for this card. Emotional renewal, emotional happiness. I think you're open to love again. I think you're open to receive, but you are really connecting with yourself now. And you know, the Ace of Cups is just happiness. It is elated, uplifting happiness. And you're finding it. I think certainly that Knight of Swords is, this is somebody who has worked hard, has really switched on, they've worked hard, they've refocused on their money and career, and now it's paying off. Now this can be a card of the entrepreneur, Sagittarius. If you own your own business or if you're in a business partnership, this is a really good sign of things picking up. It could have been a long time coming, you might have needed some patience, but you're getting real security, stability, strong foundations. The nines are about it happening in your real life. So I feel whatever you're manifesting, whatever you're creating, whatever action that you're taking, it is leading you to the new, the happy, something that you really want. Uplifting happiness as well, emotional renewal. The Nine of Pentacles as well can talk about career progression, being recognised for the work you do, being paid for the work that you do, all of that kind of energy. It is also about self-worth, self-esteem, Sagittarius. You valuing you. Getting back to value, getting that real self-worth, self-esteem, understanding what you're capable of when you're practical, when you focus, when you ground yourself, when you put one step in front of the other, when you understand your own experience, your capabilities on the money and career front, and you believe in it, you trust it, that's when things start looking up. Yeah. But the Ace of Cups is a wonderful card, new beginnings, things looking up. Yeah. So the angel card is leadership, Archangel Gabriel. It is time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others. I think it is you taking the lead in your own life. You being open to the new. Be open to the new. Taking steps to create the new. Because this card fits you perfectly. You are the adventurer. You are the adventurer, Sagittarius. And this says the great adventure. Take a risk, venture forward. Yeah. Eyes on the prize, not looking back. And we have embracing enthusiasm. Shout to the heavens with happiness. And I think some of you are getting your happiness. The beginnings of happy changes. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you have a wonderful November, Sagittarius. Hope it's a great new beginning for those of you this resonates with. And I will see you next time. Thank you.